Hello friends and welcome to Top of the Stack MTG. So as promised, here is the second video, how to prepare a sealed deck for a pre-release or any other sealed event really. First off, there are some specific differences in a sealed deck and a normal deck of Magic cards. A normal deck of Magic cards has at least 60 cards. A sealed deck has 40 cards. Remember, you're building this deck out of 6 packs. So there's only 40 cards in the deck, and the basic breakdown is going to be 17 lands and 23 spells. So you're only going to pick 23 cards out of those 6 packs. So it's plenty of cards to choose from to build a pretty good deck. And everyone's in the same position, right? And honestly, it's a bunch of luck. Somebody's going to get an amazing pull. They're going to have great cards. They're going to win the whole thing, and that's okay. But the basic breakdown, 17 lands and 23 spells. Should you play 50 cards in your deck? You're allowed to. It's not illegal, but absolutely not. Okay, you should play 40. And the reason you should is because you can't play 4 of each card in your deck, because you're not going to have 4 of each card. You're only opening 6 packs. Now, a weird rule that contradicts this is if you open 7 of the same card, you can use all 7. You don't have to stick to the maximum of 4 rule for a sealed deck. You're not going to open 7 of the same card, so it doesn't matter. But just saying it out loud, that's an interesting thing. You don't have to stick to the 4 of rule with sealed decks, whether you're drafting or pre-release or whatever. If you get 7 of the same card, you can use all 7. Hopefully it's a good card. So, to help you kind of put this deck together, some people created an acronym, a list of words that spell a word. The first letter of each word spells a word to help you remember what that big list of words is. The word is bread. If you remember the word bread, you will always win. No, that is not true. But it will help you build a sealed deck. So, B from bread, the first letter, stands for bomb. You want to find the bombs in your packs. These are generally the rares and the mythics. These are the amazing cards. If you get a Planeswalker, you should use that card, because most people won't have one. So no matter how good it is in constructed, it's going to be amazing in sealed, because you might be the only one in the room who has one. Okay, that's a bomb. Most rares and mythics are going to be your bombs. So when they say, open up your starter kit, you're going to tear it open. The first thing you're going to see is your promo card. It is a rare or a mythic. This is your first bomb. So go ahead and pull that out. You should sort your cards by color. Okay? Just go down the rows. You should have 5, maybe 7 piles, because you could get a land. You could get a colorless, right? An artifact or something. You could get a multicolor card. So you might have 7 or 8 piles, whatever. But sort them by color. So let's say your first card is white. So you go ahead and throw that down. Then you tear open your first pack. Remember, you're timed. You got like 40 minutes. You have to do this fast. So just start laying out the colors. If you want, you can make 2 rows. You can put your rares and mythics across the top and all of your uncommons and commons across the bottom. That way your bombs, really it's going to be rares or mythics. That way your bombs are already separated out. Okay? And I guess I need to say, It's the little symbol, the set symbol on the card. It's in the middle of the card on the right side, I believe. If that little symbol is black, it's a common card. You'll have a ton of cards with little black symbols on them. If the symbol is silver, it's an uncommon. So that's cool. It's a little bit better. You only get 3 of those per pack. So you'll have 18 uncommons by the time you're done opening your packs. The rares and mythics have either a gold symbol or a fire-colored symbol, I guess, red and orange. They're pretty obvious. They're very different. And you're only going to have 6 of them. You'll have 7, because we can't forget your promo card, which is going to be awesome. You'll have 7, okay? There is a tiny chance that you could get a foil card in one of your packs. If you get a foil card, then they probably took out a common, so you got 1 less common, threw the foil in, but the foil could be a rare or a mythic. It's probably a common, but it could be a rare or a mythic. So maybe I'm going to say you could have 8 rares and mythics. That's possible as you open up your little packs, okay? So if you sort them separately so that you've got the rares and mythics across the top and then you've got your uncommons and commons across the bottom, you will instantly be able to look at your bombs. And let's pretend you have 6 bombs, 4 of them are white and 2 of them are red. That's incredible. If that were to happen, then number 1, you should play red and white, clearly, because you want to use all those bombs. That's amazing. And it means you don't have any junk that you don't get to use. That's incredible. It's probably not going to happen. You're probably going to get 1 of each color, and you're going to have to pick your 2 favorite bombs, right? So pick your favorite bombs from each color, and then that will tell you what colors you're probably going to play. You don't have to play those colors, but that's a good start in what direction, considering that you're running out of time. You need to go fast. Okay? Good. So everything's opened. You got it all laid out. You picked your 2 favorite bombs, red and white, let's say. Good. So you're going to play red and white. So the second letter, R, from bread, is removal. It is the second most important thing in your deck because you know everyone else is going to play a lot of creatures. You're going to play a lot of creatures. They're a very important part of your deck. So you have to have a lot of removal. So the 2 colors that you've chosen to play, you need to go through those piles and find all the cards that could in any way kill a guy. You need as much kill a guy as you can possibly get. If you have 7, use them all. That's amazing. You're probably going to have 3. You're going to use them, of course, and this could be a time when you're thinking, I only have 1 removal in these 2 colors. Maybe I need to go with these other 2 bombs that I didn't like quite as much and see how much removal is in those colors. If you've got 5 removal in those colors, but only 1 removal in the first 2 colors, you might want to go with the other 2 bombs and the more removal. It is so important to be able to kill their creature. It will win you the game. And that's one thing that I lack a lot of in constructed play, honestly. I don't put enough removal in my decks, and I should put more in. I just like sticking to themes so much. Yeah, removal, the second most important thing, definitely. So grab all the removal you can possibly get. The third thing, the E, stands for evasion. These are creatures that cannot be blocked. So, you look through the colors that you've chosen. You've got your bombs, you've got your removal. Now you're looking through for any creatures that say things like trample, or flying, or cannot be blocked, or spend a mana and tap a guy. Things like that. Anything that makes your guy sort of unblockable counts. Grab all of your evasion guys. If you could build an entire deck of flyers that had a good mana curve, we'll talk about that in a second, you should totally do that. Totally do that. Because ground creatures can't block flyers, right? That would be amazing. Now, you've only opened 6 packs, so it's not going to be that way, but get all the evasion you can possibly get. If you have a creature that says, anytime this creature attacks, do 1 point of damage to your opponent, that's evasion, right? The guy's probably going to die, but he did get 1 point through to the opponent, so that's great. Okay? Good. Yes, evasion. That's the third most important thing. The fourth most important thing in your deck is going to be aggro. So aggro means fast, aggressive. I think it's short for aggressive, okay? You've already got your bombs picked. You already know what you want to play at the end of the game. Now you need to grab what you're going to play at the beginning of the game. This is your 2-drops, mainly. A few 3-drops, some 1-drops, but this is mainly your 2-drops. This is where 1-drops are important too. I don't want to make them sound less important. You want to get creatures out fast and swing in for damage fast. If you have more guys than they do, you're winning. This is a little bit different than constructed. It's not as deep, right? You just want to swing in and do damage. That's that. So you're looking for aggro guys. You're looking for fast creatures. Haste is awesome, right? If you got a 2-drop that's what, a 2/1 with haste, grab it. In the colors, that's perfect for aggro, okay? Get those fast creatures for the beginning of the game. All right, so you picked your aggro cards. So the last letter is D, and D actually stands for dirt. Dirt are the cards that you are not going to use in your deck. That's a little bit silly. I guess the real word is breh. But they needed the D. So D is what you're not using. So everything else that you haven't already picked, you're just going to scoop up in a pile and put in the deck box that you brought. Okay? And one thing you should know about that pile is all of those cards are your sideboard. You are allowed to use any of those cards throughout the night. If you play with a person and there's a specific card that you didn't put in your deck but you realize it would be perfect against this person, you are allowed in between rounds to quickly grab that card, replace it with the other card, shuffle it up, and play them. That is perfectly fine. This pack, these 6 packs and your promo are your sideboard. Okay? Sorry, I just thought of another thing I need to talk about. I've seen people literally lose the first game and then go back to this, build an entirely different deck with different colors, and go through the rest of the night with those cards. And that is just fine. The only rule is you're ready to play when it's time to play. Right? You can't say, hang on a sec, I want to build a different deck. That's not cool. If it's time to play, you need to be playing, because you only got 50 minutes, as we said. Good. So now you've got your cards. You've got everything else put away. Now you go through these cards. You only get 23. At this point, hopefully, you've got like 28, and you need to lose some. Okay? I say hopefully because it would be worse if you only had 17 and you needed to add a third color or choose new colors or God knows what. Something to get you up to 23. So hopefully you have more. Okay? Now, the best way, in my opinion, to get it down to the 23 is to look at your mana curve. This is how much each card costs. Okay? You want to have maybe 4 cards. Now, these numbers are not set in stone. I want to make sure you know that. You are dealing with a 40 card deck, so there's not a ton of variance. Like, if we say 17 lands and 23 spells, can you do 18 and 22? Sure. Can you do 16 and 24? Yeah. Should you do 30 lands and 10 spells? Probably not, right? The variance is small. So, of course, you don't have to stick to these exact numbers, but try to stay kind of close. So maybe if you have like 3 1-drops, maybe 6 2-drops, and then 5 3-drops, and then 3 4-drops, and then maybe 2 5-drops. Those are your bombs. Now, I don't think that hits 23, so maybe just up everything by 2, right? The 2-drops are very important. Make sure that that's probably your peak. Okay? The 1-drops are less important, but still important. All the other numbers are important, of course. If you have like a 9-drop, I don't think there's going to be anything in your packs that are that expensive. But if you had something like that, you could see in your mana curve, you'd be like, okay, I've got some 1s, so that could happen. I've got more 2s, so I'm pretty much guaranteed on my second turn I'm going to be able to play something. Third turn, I'm okay, right? I've got less 3s than 2s, but if worse comes to worse, I'll just play another 2. That's okay. 4-drop and then 9-drop. Right? That would just look crazy. That would be a very strange deck to have. You want it to just flow right into the next thing. So think about your mana curve. And none of this, another thing I should say, none of this advice is advanced stuff, okay? This is all just how to build your deck in 40 minutes, how to go as fast as you can so that you can just make quick choices. Then a week later, you can be at your house reading your cards and go, whoa, I totally should have played this. This is awesome, right? And that's fine. It doesn't matter. This is just a quick way to get in and play. Good. I believe that is all you really need to know for construction, for getting that deck done. There's one other weird thing that they've started doing, and that is they have put reprints in these packs. 1 out of every 144 cards or so has a really fancy, really strange looking card in it. Okay? You might get one. You'll know it if you get it because it's completely bizarre. Hopefully I've got something up on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. They look really strange. You will know. They look pretty cool, but it's really strange. If you get one of those, you can use it. But I do want to warn you that you cannot use it in Standard and you cannot use it in Frontier. It is a reprint for Modern. They put them in the packs to hopefully drive up the value of the sets a little bit and to drive down the prices of those old cards by giving them reprints. It's a cool thing. It's a good idea all the way around. It is not saving these new sets. When you hear the murmuring around the room when you first look at your promo, people are saying, this card's worth $30 or whatever. Do understand that that's all speculation. That speculation is based on what kind of play they think the card is going to have in Standard. And most of the time that's wrong. A different card is going to become famous than the one that they think is famous now. And as soon as it rotates out of standard, it's going to be worthless. Until a new format is declared, as we have already talked about, these new sets don't have any value. Do not go there to make money, because you're not going to make money. And it's okay. Just go there to have fun. Wow, I digressed there. But when you get one of those fancy cards, it'll be extremely cool. You can play it. You just can't play it any other time, but you can play it now. And I think that's everything. I hope you guys have a great time at the pre-release. I am going to make another video before then, I hope. I think so. I think we have plenty of time. So there'll be another video before then. But if I don't see you before then, have a great pre-release. And I hope you liked the video. I'm sorry these are so long. It's a big subject. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And thanks. Have a great night.